I will fold.
Nope.
Oh, I hate prudence. Okay, I call.
Let's do it.
This fucking rules. The point of a crossover is to get people interested in, or at least increase brand recognition of the collaborating IPs. I'm sure you have a favorite in mind, whether it be a show or a game. Probably Smash Bros, Marvel vs. Capcom, or some Scooby-Doo special. My favorite part of a crossover is seeing what characters say to each other, how they interact, and to have the characters sit around a table playing poker just to shoot the shit, that sounds perfect to me, and it totally was. Poker Night at the Inventory was created by Telltale Games before their massive success with The Walking Dead. It was made in collaboration with Sam & Max, a series Telltale makes games for, Homestar Runner, a small web animation series, Penny Arcade, the people behind the, at the time, growing PAX conventions, and the most popular by far, Valve's Team Fortress 2. The players were Max from the Sam & Max series, Strong Bad from the Homestar Runner web series, Tycho from the Penny Arcade webcomic, and the Heavy from Team Fortress 2. If you're like me, you bought this game because the Heavy was in it or you wanted the TF2 items. If you were ever into that game, you know that TF2 players are filthy fucking animals for cosmetics. To increase popularity of the game, there were some exclusive TF2 items created in collaboration. Max's badge and gun, which can be given to the scout, Strong Bad's glasses, which is, as he puts it,
they're worth like $10,000. Zzz. So we're good, right? You guys bought that?
Heavy's first gun, the Iron Curtain, and Gabe's Pac-Man watch, which Spy can use. I'm just guessing here, but I'd say the majority of people who purchased this game came from the TF2 community, and I think that's a safe bet. I did want the items, but I was mostly interested in hearing the Heavy because I was a huge fan of the official SFMs released by Valve to promote TF2. I was not disappointed in the slightest.
No shame in fold.
The Inventory is a place set up by a mysterious owner in response to the Prohibition Act, which outlawed alcohol in the United States, and in the game's lore, it also threatened to outlaw games including poker. You, the players, somehow have access to this exclusive club of game characters and enthusiasts. You also have a ridiculous amount of money to spend on these games. The draw of the game that keeps players playing after they receive all of their items is the lively banter between these characters. Max is one half of the duo Sam and Max, the freelance police officers. He has a constant need to make zingers and just be generally unhinged. He can relate to Heavy in his penchant for violence. He's very much a yes-and character that gets along with everyone pretty well. William Caston's high pitch and snappy line delivery really fits.
I'll be at the bar. I hope they don't ask for my ID.
You're not of age?
No, it's just embarrassing whenever I have to produce it.
Strong Bad is rude, childish, and full of bravado. He and Tycho share my favorite dynamic where Strong Bad is constantly poking fun at him. It gets under Tycho's skin, even though it really shouldn't.
So, Tycho, I hear you fancy your fancy self a bit of an internet celebrity.
There's a distinct difference between fancying yourself something and actually being something.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you because of all the traffic.
I hear no cars.
I'm talking about all my crazy web traffic, Ivan. This guy thinks he's some kind of strong bad with his GeoCities account.
Yeah, we have a convention. Last year, like 60 million people came. That's a lot.
Just because your attendees weighed as much as 60 million people does not mean that's how many showed up to your rinky-dink dinky shrink.
Well, we'll be sure you don't get a pass next year. Fucking Chihuahua.
You can't call them that anymore, dude. I don't know much about Homestar Runner, but Matt Chapman's delivery seems to be in line with the goofy humor of the web animation. This is probably because a lot of the original creators for every IP was asked about what was appropriate for the character's dialogue. It makes it all pretty genuine. Now, I gotta assume that you know who the Heavy is. TF2's poster boy, a deceptively intelligent wall of meat who revels in violence. He's intimidating to the other players aside from Max, who knows no fear, but has a genuine interest in casual conversation at times. It's a side that you don't get to see in Team Fortress.
Tycho, what college do you go to? You are educated, no?
Actually, no.
No?
I studied at Gygax Polyhedral, if you catch my drift.
I do not. This is good school?
The best.
I went to Soviet College of Mines, Farms, and Science. I have PhD in Russian literature.
Do you use that in your line of work?
More than you think.
His VA, he fucking killed it, dude. It's Gary Schwartz, bro. He's legendary at this point just for that role. Tycho is a dork, full of nerd culture references. He fancies himself a bit of an intellectual, but he's kind of a man-baby like Strong Bad, but in a different sort of way. I think he provides some of the best interactions, not only because he weirds out the other characters.
You know, the music in this joint reminds me of the time a bunch of hippos escaped the zoo, fell into league with a criminal blues band, and started transporting illicit goods across the East River.
Ugh, hippos, corpulent brigands. Nothing like their elegant, ungulate sisters, the giraffes.
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about. Those slender necks.
Huh?
So long and muscular, you just want to wrap your arms around them. And maybe your legs, just to see what it feels like. You just want to get up there and sway in the fucking wind. No? Is that not... okay.
But also because his voice actor, Andrew Chaikin? Last name, whatever. He was just perfect. All these characters' inclusions got me interested in visiting their library of media because I loved them so much here. I checked out the Penny Arcade comic for a little while and even bought one of the Penny Arcade RPGs when it went on sale. It was alright. I checked out Homestar Runner, but I didn't get it, I think.
Hey guys, what you doing?
Oh, just looking at a thing in a bag.
Oh, cool. Can I see?
No, it's for me. And the cheat. And Strongman to look at.
Oh, I'm not any of those.
I don't know. I think it just needed to be there, you know? And the one that actually stuck with me, Max. I really like the humor and characterization from both the classic and modern media of the crime-fighting duo Sam and Max. Cartoons, comics, games. I haven't seen everything about them, but I'd be willing to eventually. I love them, man. The crossover did its job and very faithfully represented these characters and led me to the other games. And now I'm a fan. In terms of gameplay, what did you expect? It's fucking poker. It's No Limit Texas Hold'em. This is the first poker anything I ever played. I know it's not exactly the best circumstances to do so, but I still fucking loved it, man. The players behave differently and have their own tells. Max makes nonsensical plays, so he's the trickiest to play around at the highest difficulty. Strong Bad usually likes to bet big in spite of a bad hand. The Heavy plays it safe and bets big whenever he has a good hand, which makes it really tough whenever he decides to bluff. Tycho plays conservatively unless he has a great hand and plays aggressively. If you're one-on-one, he'll try to muscle you off the table. All of their styles reflects their personality, and it's super cool, and it makes me wonder what other characters from their series would play like. As you'd expect, in a crossover, there are fourth and third and a half wall breaks that recontextualize being a video game character as an acting role, and results in being invited to the inventory, the Secret Games Club. Most of the time, the characters talk about their adventures like they're real and recontextualize video games as documentaries or retellings of their lives. There's no point in trying to solve it since it changes. It's like in Super Smash Bros. When a character receives an invitation. So they know about Smash, and they regard it with reverence, and what does that mean in the silly Smash Bros. Lore? I don't know, whatever. It's cool to think about these characters that have already had their adventure, and they're just hanging out or fighting or whatever. Accompanying the game are jazzy versions of themes from the characters' IPs. It's relaxing and adds to the feeling that you're at a secret and exclusive place playing card games with micro-celebrities. You gotta listen to him sometime, dude, when you get a chance. Poker Night at the Inventory is lovely. My only complaint is just that I want more conversations. I was super bummed when I finally ran out of topics for the characters. I wish there was just more of the game, dude. There kinda is, though.
There is a sequel!
Poker Night at the Inventory, too. The sequel features Sam from Sam and Max. Max is also back and becomes a part of the scenery and Sam's banter. They are very gay. It is your month, after all. I fucking love these homophobic dog memes. Nah, I'm just kidding. They're probably not gay. I'm not sure. But one definite LGBT character involved is you, the player. Sam has a similar chaotic nature to Max, but he's much more witty. Not in writing, just in his character. He's much more grounded, if that makes any sense. I love Sam and Max, and I love them here. I'm actually really glad they were chosen over the Walking Dead gang, if it was a choice between one or the other. Like Max before him, he gets along with everyone pretty well. Him being a 6-foot-tall anthropomorphic dog with a gun is a good conversation starter with this crowd. He's voiced by David Nowlin, who nails his take it on the chin attitude.
You know, if you keep indulging my transparent dishonesty, I'm gonna have to run for Congress.
David Boat also voices Max here, just as great as the previous inventory actor. Sam's strategy is to play carefully until you're one-on-one. He's a lot like Tycho in terms of gameplay. Ash Williams from Evil Dead is here, and I don't know what that is, probably a movie franchise. I don't know, I'm not a film buff. Maybe I'll watch it someday. He seems like a typical 80s and 90s protagonist. Strong, good looks, suave, goofy side. He's voiced by Danny Weber, which, yeah, he's doing a good job.
It's good to be the king.
I don't know how true to the character it is, it's probably pretty good. His poker strategy is constantly betting and raising, only backing down whenever his hand is truly terrible. It's pretty common to see Ash and Brock eliminate each other, Ash being the one eliminated far more often because of his tolerance for weaker cards. Sorry I don't got much to say about him, I'm just not familiar with him. Claptrap from Borderlands is here. You probably already know how I feel about him. He has the same voice actor as in Borderlands 2, David Eddings, because Gearbox hadn't fucked him over enough for him to leave yet. Cheery and full of himself. It's pretty much exactly the same as his Borderlands 2 appearance, so I don't want to tear his arms off every time I see him like in Borderlands 3, because he's not that annoying yet. His main thing is how he gels with everybody else like sandpaper.
So what if everything Sam says is a lie? That doesn't mean that he's lying about that, right? Because then he'd be telling the truth. And, oh no.
Well, that was a shining moment in the history of robotkind.
People generally find him annoying, as they should. He's always got a question, demeaning remark, or something to brag about. His poker strategy is to play cautious until he has the most money at the table, or he's being backed into a corner. You're likely to win a showdown with him, as his all-ins are usually done out of panic. Finally, Brock Sampson from the Venture Bros. I love Venture Bros, dude. I'm thinking about doing a video on it one day. But even if you don't, I think you're still in for a treat with the character. He's voiced by the legendary Patrick Warburton. You know, Kronk. He also worked with Telltale after this in Tales from the Borderlands. Brock Sampson is an untouchable badass in the show, like every action hero rolled up into one, but he has a drastically short temper. His poker strategy involves a lot of bluffing and calling other people's bluffs. He will usually back off whenever his cards suck, but he still has a chance to go all in just on bluffs. His interactions revolve around being generally interested in the other players.
What's so funny?
I just realized that you're a dog playing playing poker.
I don't get it.
Hosting the tournament is now GLaDOS.
Good evening.
Great!
What the
Fountains
hell?
of Wayne!
Hubba, hubba!
This completes the first test of the contestants' poker faces. The bad news is you all failed miserably. The good news is you appear to be evenly matched.
She is voiced by the lovely and talented Ellen McLean, reprising her role from Portal 2. The character is just as bitter, sarcastic, and cunning with her insults and delivery. If you've played the first half of Portal 2, you know how she'll behave here. Personally, I think it's annoying how often she cuts in to insult the players. It halts the flow of the game once the novelty of talking to the other characters wears off. If you're hearing the quips for the first time, though, it's fantastic.
Don't feel bad. If I had your brain, I'd fold too.
It's great to see her here, especially since nowadays we are scrounging for any bit of Valve content we can get. Sadly, I don't have this game. When Telltale went belly up, this and their first game lost its licensing agreement and they have no plans to renew it. You can't purchase it except from scalpers who have massively driven up the price. My friend Penny let me borrow it through Steam Share for the video, and I hope you see this. Thank you so much if you're watching, I really wanted to play this. The setting is, once again, the inventory. The only difference this time is the scenery changes depending on the unlockable chips, tables, and cards you deploy. The music is also just as lovely with smooth jazz versions of the themes like Short Change Hero, Alive from Portal, Other, Theme. I don't know, the other ones don't feel as iconic to me, I'm sorry. Go listen to them even if you're not going to play it. The tracks do change to something more atmospheric whenever you change the inventory's theming. I find it much more enjoyable to listen to the original covers in the basic inventory though. The crossover items once again include TF2 items and Borderlands heads this time. They're cool. I don't know what you want me to say about them. If you like that kind of shit, there it is. One thing I kind of liked about the first one over the second one was the relationships. The first one had clear dynamics among the characters, like Strong Bad hates Tycho and vice versa. Heavy likes Strong Bad, Tycho is scared of Heavy, Max gets along with everyone, and Heavy is sus of Tycho. It made for some believable dialogue and characterized them even further. It makes them a bit more personal, like at this poker table, I got to know more about these characters than in their own game. The players in the game also had limited knowledge of each other. The characters were able to reference their own games, but other characters, except for Tycho, naturally question each other based on demeanor and appearances. I think the second one would have been a lot better if GLaDOS was the only one privy to the player's info, or maybe Claptrap since he's kind of a dork. I could just be imagining this, but I think they talked a lot more in the second one too. I preferred when the characters only occasionally chimed in, like after a hand or two. It also helps the longevity of the game, saving materials for later. I want more games like this, dude. Even if it wasn't a crossover between different companies and it was just Telltale's own characters. The amount of character that Poker Night at the Inventory had was unmatched, dude. You get taken in through a secret elevator, an old Monkey Island character shows you down the stairs, seeing the characters already chilling at the table, the soft music in the background, the idle banter between everybody was such a fucking vibe. And now you're not allowed to buy it. It's tragic. Especially because just listening to the conversations on YouTube doesn't fully communicate how fun it can be to focus on your card game while these characters start up a conversation. Sorry to end it on kind of a sour note. I just wanted to show this game to you because it's one of those that deserve love but isn't allowed to get in anymore just because of licensing issues. There's something that feels really, really bad about something that a group of talented people worked on that is not available anymore, not able to be enjoyed anymore, especially something that is like infinitely redistributable like a video game. I know crossovers are created with the intention of generating character recognition, brand recognition, generating money, but people put love, time, and effort into this game, and I think it deserves to be celebrated. I really appreciate what they did with this game. I'm Frogwater. Thank you for watching. I got several more videos planned, so keep an eye out. If you like more Poker Night, you're weird, but there's also a far better and more in-depth video on it on a person named Macon's channel. I didn't know if I wanted to make this video because a lot of what I could have said has already been said by him, but hey, it looks like people just want to hear somebody talk about things that they like sometimes. There's also a little video of me playing with a friend, getting some footage if you're interested.
Heavy goes all in.
He's bluffing. He's bluffing.
He's bluffing.
Okay, I fold.
Yeah, stay out of it, Max. He's got an ace and a queen. Hey, I got a pair, though. He doesn't have a pair. Give me a king. Give me a king, baby. Give me king, 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 king. No. I'm glad you stopped by my little video, and I really hope you enjoyed yourself. Take care now.
Hey Max, give me the skinny on your pockets.
Excuse me?
You know, where you keep all that stuff. That's like Hollywood magic, right?
No, but that was a nickname of mine in college.
Really?
No, I never went to college.